All right, I am scattered on a subject again. It's kind of strange how these come about. It's strange to me, the topics, how they come about, actually, to be honest with you, because it probably wasn't an hour after I made my last video. It just popped into my head that I needed to talk about the end days, the Kali Yuga, the lies that go on, how that affects you. So, you know how in the concept of samsara, so you live an entire life in ignorance. That's the whole point of samsara. You're not enlightened, you're ignorant, you don't know what's going on. A lot of times, you not only don't know what's going on, but you're not even searching to find out what's going on. And you've lived these lives numerous times, by the way. You think life is all about making money, surviving, hunting, who knows what. But today, everyone has their own lifestyle, and that's exactly it. You could live to be 80, 90 years old and never once awaken to an awareness of who am I? What am I doing here? What's going on in this reality? Asking these questions that would prompt spiritual intellection. They talk about stopping the wheel of samsara, but you can't do that without accomplishing the task at hand. Meaning, as a human being, a sentient human being in these days, you really have to accomplish all that you can possibly accomplish as a spiritual aware person before the wheel of samsara is over. A lot of people talk about how do I stop the wheel of samsara? How do I stop this cycle of life and death? How do I stop this cycle? And they go to work on stopping it as though that's going to do anything. It isn't going to accomplish a single thing in stopping the wheel of samsara. It isn't going to do a single thing to make anything better, no matter how hard you work on it. Because stopping the wheel of samsara is a byproduct. It isn't a objective to accomplish somehow, or that you can figure out a way to fight in order to accomplish this thing, to stop this cycle of life and death. That's impossible, because samsara, the wheel of samsara, is a byproduct of, people would like to say, ignorance, and indeed it is, but you can't educate yourself about how to not be ignorant to stop the wheel of samsara. You can't do that because it is a byproduct. But what is it a byproduct of? It's a byproduct of learning all you can possibly learn as a sentient human being, meaning becoming enlightened, learning everything you can about God, you don't need to know the secrets of how the universe is created, sustained, and all. You can learn that. It is possible, but it isn't necessary, because everyone has a different thing to learn, or different things to learn before the samsaric wheel is over. And again, you cannot focus upon that. You have to focus upon love. You have to focus upon what is your point of existence here. I mean, because think about it. You and I, what we talk about is becoming one with God, becoming enlightened. That's what we talk about. But there are a lot of people that could not care less about that sort of thing. And in fact, they are about knowledge, wisdom, about power, authority, wealth, satanic studies, witchcraft. All of these things is their main focus. And so they're never going to stop the wheel of samsara because that is in their nature to do that. And so they're never going to move on. But you and I, we talk about different things. We talk about not necessarily, so this is my version of it. I couldn't care less about stopping the wheel of samsara. I don't care. It makes no difference to me. I'm here, I'm aware, I'm enlightened, and I'm trying to help you to understand the same things that I understand. That is why I'm here. I'm here because I love this opportunity to teach. I love this opportunity to learn something new every day. It's like I've said before, you have to get to a certain age, it seems like, and this is arbitrary, but it seems like you have to get to about 60 years old-ish, somewhere in there, before you don't have to concentrate anymore on raising a family, supporting yourself, assuming that you've worked your butt off and gotten to a point where you are self-sustaining financially. And if you're super wealthy, then you'll never get to that point because your focus will always be on your wealth, to maintain it, to grow it, to whatever. So that, I think that's one of the reasons Jesus talked about it's impossible essentially for a rich man to get into heaven. Again, when he said a rich man to get into heaven, that's not really what he said, and that's not what he meant, but it makes the point, at least, to show the difficulty of being wealthy and becoming one with God, because your focus will always be on the money. And Jesus talked about, the money is your God, because it's your focus. It's what you love. It's what you, and it really isn't money. Nobody cares about money. It's the power that money brings is what they're focused upon. Some people would like to say, well, I want a lot of money because I want to help people throughout the world. Well, okay, that's a worthy cause, but unless you've been told directly or whatever, no, you just like the power and authority to exercise your, maybe it's an ego trip or something, who knows. That's not the point of this video, though. Again, I was getting to the lies, and I think the title of this video should be Lies, Lies, and More Lies in the Kali Yuga. Or in Christianity, they call it the end days. I've painted this scenario before, and I'm going to bring it up again. And I want you to think about this. Really pay attention to what I'm going to say. So, as an example, most people have heard of who Hitler was and how many so-called people that he killed and all of that kind of stuff. Let me propose to you that Hitler was a great guy. He never harmed anyone. He never killed anyone. Most people on this planet are worse than him because he never harmed anyone. He never killed anyone. He never stabbed anyone. He never shot anyone. He never lifted a finger to harm anyone. And yet, because of his lies, because of his manipulation, because of the things he said and did, people listened to him. And then they went about and did all the murdering and killing and maiming and destroying and all the wars and the destruction. Satan is the same way. Shiva, same exact way. Probably never lifted a finger to harm anyone. And yet, all the duped idiots listen to these lies and go around doing all the damage in the world. So, in these end days, right now today, I'd like to say we know, but I don't know if you know. But I do know from the information I have gathered that for whatever reason, I don't entirely know, most of the top world leaders, meaning I don't know, maybe 25, maybe 50 world leaders or more, I don't know. They're all in unison in killing most of humanity. It is their desire to annihilate most of mankind. Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates. I don't know if the Biden administration, it seems like they are, but I can't say Biden is because, well, I mean, before he got dementia, probably, they're hell-bent on killing billions upon billions of people on this planet. I don't know if they'll get away with it, but it's their desire. But do they actually do it? No, they don't. They spread lies, deceit. They tell you this, they tell you that. People listen to them. They could have probably created a vaccine for this COVID that would have helped people, but did they? No, of course not. I mean, you look at the results of the vaccinations, and obviously it's killing more people than the COVID ever did. But who's actually creating those things to do that sort of thing? It's the duped fools that listen to the lies and act upon them. Excuse me. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because lies are so prevalent today that it's just incredible. And the few people that listen to me, maybe you can influence other people besides yourself. You have to listen to your heart. You have to listen to your intuition. You have to use wisdom. You have to use intelligence. You have to use your wits about you, common sense, which isn't very common nowadays. Every tool in your bag to discern what is the right thing to do. Because clearly you could make a blanket statement and say, well, I don't believe anything that's bad. Everybody's lying to me. And then when the shit hits the fan and people come, roving gangs come to your door and murder you and your wife and children and all of this kind of stuff, it would have been better had you been prepared to defend yourself. But if you are this rose-colored glasses person and you go, well, it'll all be good, God will protect me, as they're cutting your head off. You see what I'm saying? So you don't necessarily want to be proactive in such a way that you initiate murdering and all of those things. But in defense, when other people are duped into going about and killing everyone, that you're prepared to defend yourself. Now, will it actually come to that? I don't know, but it certainly is in the world. There are many places in the world right now today where that is happening. It isn't happening in my neighborhood here in Nevada, but who knows? It could be next week or next year. I don't know. It happens all over the place. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. In my future videos, I'm not going to concentrate, at least I don't think I am, going to concentrate very much on what's happening in world affairs. I really like concentrating on the super bizarre spiritual nature of reality and how God creates and maintains things and all that kind of stuff. That's where I really enjoy my focus. But the problem is, if you are dead, or if you are maimed, or if you're eating food that's being poisoned to kill you, or whatever the case may be, then unfortunately the wheel of samsara continues because you have to be reborn again and start all over again. So my point in bringing these things up in the Kali Yuga right now is to protect yourself. Listen to your intuition as to what you should do to protect yourself. And it's all about the foods and everything. I mean, they really, when I say they, I don't know who they are other than the several names I mentioned, but clearly in a world effort, they are trying to kill, dare I say, 3/4 of the population of the planet or more. I don't know, but there is no other explanation that would explain away what and why they're doing what they're doing and lying about it and all those things. I don't get this information from reading books or whatever. I actually sometimes I will watch congressional hearings here in the United States. I will watch hearings that go on in Canada or in Britain or different places where it's like I'm getting it directly from the source, listening to the doctors talk about the things that they are discovering and stuff like that. So I'm trying my best not to listen to hearsay or the producers of all the lies and everything. I want to know exactly what's going on, and that's what's going on. So that you can stay alive and grow spiritually, getting closer to enlightenment and all those things. I ask that you listen to your intuition. I ask that you pray constantly for guidance and direction as to what you should do to avoid these sorts of things. And I guess that's the point of this particular video today. And there was something else I was going to mention, and now it escapes me, and I just don't know what it was. Other than I went to the doctor today. You guys probably don't want to know this, but I'm almost 70 years old, and I have chronic spine degeneration in C4, C5 area, spreading down to C6. And 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I take pain medication. And now it's radiating into my arms, and I can't sleep at night a lot of times because the pain is so excruciating. And but I went and did x-rays today of this arm and stuff like that. And I'm hoping that, I'm actually optimistic that I'll be able to alleviate this pain and move on with my life, because it seems like in my family, our DNA or whatever, like we live to be very old unless we abuse ourselves with all kinds of alcohol, this, that, and everything else. Short of that, we seem to live 100 years old or so in my family, both sides of my family. So there's a good chance that I'll be around until till the world comes to an end. Who the heck knows? Anyways, I guess in closing, I want to tell you I am profoundly grateful to God for the opportunity to be here in these days. I know they are tough days, but I'm fascinated with spirituality. I'm fascinated with helping people. I'm fascinated with answering questions that people ask me. And I don't always get back very quickly, as most of you that write to me and have questions and stuff like that will know that I don't respond right away many times. Sometimes I do, but not only do I have this spiritual life, but I am constantly doing art, shall I say. I do welding, woodworking. I've been remodeling my home lately. And if I can, you know what? I should put some pictures in this video of this stuff that I do, just to give you a background on what I do and stuff like that. And maybe I'll put my drone up flying and show you some areas around here, because sometimes people find that sort of thing interesting. Anyways, I love you. I love the opportunity to make these videos. I love the opportunity to answer questions, because whether you know it or not, it's like I've talked many times about a rainbow, and rainbows don't exist. It's like, in reality, you have a perspective in time and place that looks at a rainbow that doesn't really exist. It wouldn't exist if it weren't for you actually observing it, because in the totality it doesn't exist. Maybe this is way over your head. I don't know. But the point being is, interacting with you when you guys ask questions, guys, gals, whatever. I'm seeing reality through your eyes. I'm seeing your perspective of the rainbow, which is impossible for me to see because I'm not you. I'm not in your shoes. I'm not where you are. And to think that God is so simplistic as to say, oh, this is reality and this is what it is. No, it's very, very complex. And it is so fascinating. And when you share your thoughts and your ideas and your questions with me, I actually use my connection with God to understand what you're asking and to importune this God that Jesus prayed to get answers that would be uniquely true for you. And then that helps me to know from your perspective what reality is. So I enjoy it as much as you do. And so I appreciate very much the questions. However, some people are antagonistic, and it's their desire in life to act hateful, shall I say. And to those people, I respond a couple of times, and forgive me, but eventually I just shut the door and I don't ever respond ever again to those particular people. It's not that I shut them down and that they can't respond anymore. I just don't respond, because I figure when people act like that, I don't hate them in the least degree. It's just that they are going through a phase in their reality where they happen to be antagonistic. They've been hurt. Who knows what their issues are. But I'm not a psychologist. I'm not going to play these stupid games of hate and all this kind of stuff. I just don't participate in that sort of thing. And so don't expect me to. But I get a lot of it. Well, no, I back that up. I used to get a lot of it. I don't get that much anymore. Anyways, I love you all. And I really, again, say it earnestly that I hope you are doing well wherever you are in the world. And don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have a question. And not that I can always answer it, but I certainly will do my best. And I will, if I don't have a connection with God at that particular time on a particular question, I'll give you my best guess, and I will tell you it's my best assessment, rather than it is visionary or revelation from God. Because I do not like, no, let me back that up. I do not peddle bullshit. Let's put it that way. Anyways, I love you. I hope you have a good week. Talk to you later.